Roommates. They moved in together because rent was unforgiving. That was the honest explanation. Not fate. Not friendship. Just a 3-bedroom apartment with a cracked tile in the kitchen and a landlord who didn't ask too many questions. Sam answered the ad first. 32. Freelance graphic designer. Newly single and newly aware that independence was expensive. Alex came next quiet. Meticulous. A data analyst who labeled food containers and never forgot to Venmo. Priya arrived last, dragging 2 suitcases and a houseplant that immediately began shedding leaves. They shook hands awkwardly in the living room, standing beneath a flickering ceiling fan. "This is temporary," Sam said, smiling too hard. "Everything is," Priya replied. They didn't know then how much of their lives would happen in that space. At first, they lived parallel lives. Sam worked late, music always playing, projects bleeding into one another. Alex woke early, ran the same route every morning, left notes about trash day on the fridge. Priya worked 2 jobs barista by day, tutoring by night, came home exhausted, reheating leftovers at odd hours. They shared the apartment, not their worlds. The shift began with the couch. It was old, sagging in the middle, and none of them claimed it. One night, Sam collapsed onto it after a brutal client call. Alex passed through on the way to bed, paused, then sat to. "Want tea?" Alex asked. Sam nodded. Priya emerged later, drawn by the sound of voices. She sat on the floor, back against the couch, shoes kicked off. They talked about nothing important, about everything that was. It became a habit. Soon, the couch was the center of the apartment's gravity. They ate there, argued there, watched bad reality TV and better documentaries. The houseplant rescued, watered, properly moved closer to the window. They learned each other's rhythms. Alex cooked on Sundays, methodically, meals stacked for the week. Sam designed logos at the table, muttering to themselves. Priya studied flashcards aloud, pacing. When Sam's freelance work dried up, they didn't say anything at first. But Alex noticed the tension, the late-night job boards, the silence. "You can float your share this month," Alex said one morning. "Casual. Just pay me back when things pick up." Sam stared. "You don't have to. I know," Alex said. "But I can." Sam swallowed. "Thank you." Priya made soup that night without comment. A few months later, Priya's mother got sick back home. The phone calls came late, whispered and tearful. One night, Sam found Priya sitting on the kitchen floor, back against the cabinet, phone dark in her hands. Sam sat beside her, didn't ask questions. Alex brought blankets. They stayed there until the floor felt less cold. The apartment filled with unspoken agreements. You didn't knock when someone cried. You replaced what you finished. You noticed when someone was quiet longer than usual. Chosen family formed not through declarations, but through repetition. The outside world didn't always understand. "So, you're all just roommates?" Sam's sister asked once, skeptical. "Yes," Sam said, "and no." They celebrated small things loudly. Alex's promotion, Priya's acceptance into a certification program, Sam landing a long-term contract. They marked them with cheap wine and takeout, laughter echoing off the walls. They fought too, about dishes, about noise, about boundaries that blurred when comfort grew too familiar. One night, after a sharp argument about money and space, and who was carrying more emotional weight, they retreated to their rooms, doors closed. By morning, the tension lingered like humidity. It was Alex who broke it. "I don't want to lose this," they said over breakfast. "Whatever this is," Priya nodded. "Me neither," Sam sighed. "We're allowed to need each other," they said. "We just have to say when it's too much." They learned. The apartment aged with them. The tile cracked further. The couch sagged more. The houseplant flourished. Years passed quietly. Then Shane arrived, as it always does. Alex was offered a job in another city. Better pay. Better hours. They broke the news carefully, like delivering something fragile. "I don't want to leave," Alex said, "but I think I should." Sam felt the familiar ache of loss, sharp and unfair. Priya blinked fast, steadying herself. When Priya asked, 3 months? They spent those months deliberately, cooking together more, taking photos they'd never bothered with, sitting on the couch longer, as if time could be negotiated. On Alex's last night, They stayed up until dawn. I didn't know I could have this, Alex said quietly. A home without obligation. Sam smiled. You helped build it. They hugged in the doorway the next morning. A long, grounding embrace. The apartment felt emptier afterward, but not hollow. Sam and Priya stayed. They adjusted. They welcomed new roommates eventually, people who passed through without leaving the same imprint, but the foundation remained. Years later, Alex returned for a visit. The couch was gone, replaced by a sturdier one. The tile was still cracked. The houseplant had grown enormous. They sat together, older, changed, still familiar. Funny, Alex said, smiling. We moved in to survive rent and built a family, Priya replied. Sam raised a glass. Not the one we were assigned. The one we chose, Alex said. In a world that made stability rare and independence expensive, they had found something unexpected. A home made not of permanence, but of people who stayed as long as they could and mattered deeply while they did.